Hello everybody and welcome, and this is a special treat for me. We're joined by the John Jay Director of Athletics, Director Kashow. And Carol, unfortunately, your time is coming to an end. Unfortunately for us, I'm sure fortunately for you, and I'm sure after 40 years, you're getting ready for retirement and enjoying the life. But I know personally, and speaking on behalf of the staff, we're all going to miss you and all of that. With that said, what do you take out of your time here at John Jay? And we'll delve into your whole career and everything, but just in the intermediary about John Jay.
What's been true here at John Jay, which I believe is true also in my other CUNY stops, which were Hostos Community College and Hunter, is that when I first got here, my boss at the time, VP Cook Francis, said, tell me about John Jay students. And I said, well, this is what I think of all CUNY students. If you build it, they will come, and not only that, but they'll probably help you build it. I think that we have tremendous students in all of CUNY, and they bring so much to each school, they bring so much to each program, and they will go forward and they'll bring a great deal to the city and to the world as they move out.
You've always said this, you don't want just average. You want people to strive to be more than just average, to be extraordinary. Where did you learn that from, and have you seen student athletes and coaches and everybody that you worked with, administrators, have they kind of taken that advice too?
Well, actually, many people who know me will know that I got that from my parents, particularly my mother. I think at first grade I knew I was going to college. I wasn't sure what it was, but if my mother said I was doing it, I probably was. I knew that getting an education changed my life and that of my family, and so I know that getting an education will change the life of our students and that of their family in most cases. And I've spoken that to them, and that's sort of in my mantra with our coaches and staff, and that's the work we do every day, and that's what makes it special. But it was just sort of drilled into me early, like this is what we're going to do, this is what you should do. And so that's what I've tried to bring along with.
So March 2013, you start here at John Jay. What do you remember about when you first got the position here at John Jay, and what was the work that you wanted to lay out?
So what I can remember most about my first day, I came in on a Saturday, right? I got my boxes packed up at Hostos, and I came down here. And I had a piece of paper with me to get in through past public safety, and then I came upstairs, and it was the office that I was going to occupy was a bit of a hot mess. It was like dust back in there and things all over the place, and there were things all in the hallway. And I'm a pretty obsessive compulsive, as anyone would tell you, so I knew I could not possibly work in that environment. So my spouse came along with me, Hallie Cohen, and we cleaned up. We put everything into a big laundry bin. We took it downstairs and left it downstairs because I didn't know where anything went, but we took it back there. We borrowed a vacuum cleaner from one of the janitors and asked them if we could use it, and we cleaned up and we vacuumed, and then it was at least clean, and I figured I could start working on Monday. And then just the other most consequential thing that happened was that a few days later I met VP Cook Francis, who was going to be my supervisor, but more than that, a mentor, a friend, and someone who believed in what we were trying to do and supported it every single day.
When you were looking for candidates to fill positions, whether it was coaching, administrative, whatever, what did you look for to kind of build your own department? So
I always tell people that the first marker is just that they come across as a good person, right? That's important. And then past that they have some excellence in their area, right? And then we will continue to develop. We've put a lot of money and effort into professional development. And in any interview, if I felt as though that person might be a person who would be a team player, right? And most of our staff are athletes, or former student athletes who played team sports, right? We're team sports people, and so that in hiring our staff is something that has really been important, and it's one of the reasons why people love to hire student athletes in general, right, across the country in all kinds of businesses and operations, because those student athletes know team. They know there is no I in team. They know about putting the goals of the group first. So there are many things that many intangibles that come along with being a student athlete that you can't make up and you can't teach in other ways. And that's what comes with our staff.
What were some of the initiatives early on that you wanted to fight for and that you ultimately achieved here? So
we wanted to first, again, graduate, right, everybody. That was the first position that we hired. We wanted to get our budget balanced, right, because it was not when we came in. And then we wanted to start investing, right? Making some money and investing in our programs. We knew that fixing the facilities and making those better were important, and renting good facilities for outdoor sports were important. But first and foremost, right, making sure that we hired the right people, and that we recruited, because there are student athletes out there who make us better, right? And at my first meeting, I said that one of the things that we were going to do was to recruit quality student athletes. And so recruiting quality student athletes was the first piece, and making sure that they were academically sound was the first piece. And one of the things that I've said all along, and I truly meant it, and I truly still mean it today, is only the best for John Jay. So whether it's a student athlete, whether it's a staff member, whether it's a coach, whether it's how we're going to do the facilities, whether it's how we're going to brand our vans or our facility, only the best, right? Our pool is an example of only the best, right? We have blue lights in our scoreboard because that looks good, because that's our color, right? So they were red and we changed them, and like, no, they have to be blue. So only the best for John Jay, always.
So the other night, it was announced that there will be the Director Kashow Leadership Award. To have an honor in your name, what does that feel like?
I was very surprised when asked about it, but I was very pleased when we discussed what we were going to do, right? Our coaches are absolutely amazing. What they do every day. It's a 365, 24/7. Anybody who knows anything about athletics knows that that is the case. And so they take care of, in every way, by the rules, their student athletes. And so to be able to have a leadership award named in my name, but it's a monetary award that will go to a coach each year, is something really special. It's a way for the program to say, good job to somebody who's done not just a good job, but a little bit extra. But every day, all of our coaches do a little bit extra. And so it is an honor, and it is humbling.
Two-part question. As you reflect back on your career, who were some of the more instrumental people in your life? And then in retirement, 5, 10 years, what are you going to look back at your time at John Jay?
So again, those influential people in my life, pretty easy. First and foremost, my parents. Second, probably every teacher that I ever had, which I think I can name every teacher that I ever had, which were mostly all good, and just one or two not so good. And certainly my college coach, which coached me into sports. Her name is Betty Boyle. She was a great mentor and coach. She coached me in badminton, which I played so that she would know my name when it came around time for softball, because she coached softball. And so I had a great experience. I played for 8 seasons for her, for both sports. And so she was very, very instrumental. And then the first persons who took the chance of hiring me at Drexel University, John and Mary Semenek. And they, I was 23 years old, and right, it doesn't happen nowadays. And they hired me to coach 2 sports at a Division I institution, but to have the faith in me to do so. Probably because I can talk your ears off if you give me the chance. In 5 years, looking back, I probably won't think about what we had done until this point. I will be too excited about what will happen in the next 5 years, because it is my true belief that with this incredible staff that we have, coaches, staff, and our incredible student athletes, that this exponentially we will continue to get better. We have, particularly in the last couple of years, exponentially, I feel, gotten better, and it's been tremendous growth. And I only see it happening. So I think that I will not think about what happened before I left here. I think we'll be like, wow, I'm glad I got out of their way and I got to do something really good.
What's next for Director Kashow?
So when my spouse finishes her career at January 31st, 2020, we will head down to our retirement home that we built at Lewis Beach in Delaware. We are beach people. There's a farmland very near our home as well, which we both really enjoy, the kind of quiet and peace of that. Our plan is to travel a great deal. We're headed to a softball tournament, right, to watch in February. First trip that we're taking is, of course, to watch sports. And then we're going to another beach. We're going to St. John's, because you can't go to Lewis Beach in Delaware in February. Well, you can, but you can't get any sand. So we'll be headed down there. Now we'll come back. I've told everybody we'll do the spring planting, because we love the garden, and we have none right now. We just have a ton of space to garden. And we put a pool in our backyard, so if it gets too crowded going to the beach in the summertime, we can stay at the pool. And we just plan on making probably 2 big trips a year, and then spending a whole lot of time with family and friends. We both would like to also do community work. And I've also told President Mason that if there is anything at all that I can ever do for John Jay, that she simply needs to call. And so those are the things that we look forward to. And to give back, I will be spending something hopefully with Westchester Alumni Association. And so the opportunity to give back for all those people who've helped me get to where I am. I would be more than remiss if I didn't say the absolute truth, which is that our staff, our coaches, and my senior staff and my leadership team is what makes John Jay Athletics what it is, which I think is very good. I've said it before, I will say it again, I will always say it. I will put them up against anyone else in CUNY and anyone else in the region for their absolute professionalism, excellence, and dedication to the craft and to their student athletes every day. We are lucky to have them.
I'm going to agree with that, and I'm going to add to that. You say nothing but the best. I think you are the best, and this is just from me personally. I would not be here without you. I remember the first volleyball game that we did. You were sitting next to me, and I'm sure there was some little like, all right, let me check out this John from St. John's and see how good he was. I was so nervous, and you just calmed me down. You were so nice and so gracious to me. And for everything that you've meant to my career, thank you for starting it. Truly nothing but the best, but you are the best. I thank you so much. I'm sure I speak for everybody else here too that feels that way. Congratulations on your retirement. You've earned it. There is no better place in the country than John Jay, and I thank you for that, and congratulations, much success going forward.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much.